All right, welcome back to the Ask Mama podcast, where I let the internet ask my mama questions. I'm Melody Angel.
I'm Mama Stephanie.
And I'm Lamar.
All right, y'all, we're going to get right into it this week
All
with the
right.
Ask Mama questions. We've got some doozies.
Bring it on.
All right. So, yeah, I'm going to start us off. Let me bring it up. What is that first question? The first question is, what do you think about the overwhelming amount of women today deciding life is better without men? There's a movement going on in South Korea and in the US and all over the world right now called the 4B movement. Men are looking at it as a punishment, and women are looking at it as just this is better for their lives. So what do you think about it, Mama?
Wow. A movement to well, I gotta say I understand kind of why they feel that way. Because if you look at the world, everything that's bad, the wars, the rumors of wars, the killing, the who does it all? If men could get a grip of themselves and stop just being so bad. I mean, almost every terrible thing that's ever happened has been led by men. I love y'all, but I do kind of understand where these poor women are coming from. I'm sure they want you, but they want men to be better. Y'all gotta be better than you are. I mean, everything, because seriously, when I walk out my house, like you said one time before, I'm not fearful of women. It's men I'm running from. I'm hiding. Oh Lord, I hope nothing happens so y'all gotta do better. I understand this movement. I wish it wasn't so, but I cannot say, me personally, having sat up sometimes and thought, what is wrong with me and why are they so violent? And, if they were not as violent as they were, we wouldn't have all this crime and killing and wars, and we just wouldn't. I don't believe women would be out here doing all this. That's my take.
Well, I think that it's very liberating for women to make a mark and say, hey, I'm going to be in charge of my life and I want to do these things and not be told what I should do by this marker, like societal pressures or expectations. So I really think actually I don't see anything wrong with it if that's a person's free choice. I think that if they're doing it because that's what they want to do, then great. I do worry about how that might hurt our society and societies,
Right.
Across the world in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But I can say I get it.
It's not something that, speaking as a single woman, it's not something that you like consciously do. I don't think. For the most part, you're just doing the work. I think women do the work on themselves way more than men do. Men don't do any work on themselves usually. They are who they are. You have to accept all of their shortcomings, and that's just that. They're not going to go get help. They're not going to go talk to somebody. They don't want to talk about their feelings. They don't want to be vulnerable. And of course, I'm not talking about all men, but majority of men feel this way, think this way, and move this way. So when you have a human being over here, male or female, you have a human being over here that is doing the work on themselves, trying to, look inward and love themselves and build their life professionally and all this. And then you have this other human over here that thinks they don't have to do any work on themselves, that thinks that they are perfect and that everyone should bow down to them. There's already going to be a huge problem. You can't build a loving, safe relationship with somebody like that. And I think for me, I have been focused on making sure that I'm happy. And I'm not going to bring anybody into my life that doesn't make me happy. If you take any of my peace, any of my strength, any of my joy away from me, when life is not long,
Come on.
life goes by too quickly, and you want me to waste years of my life because somebody said we're all supposed to be married with 2.5 kids and a garage and the white picket fence and all of that.
Well,
that would be great. But I'm not doing that with somebody that means me harm and that looks at me like a live-in maid 1 minute and some kind of, sex machine the other minute. You know what I'm saying? Without looking at me, the person, and valuing me, the person. And so I think, women are just tired. They're done. And they know that it doesn't get you anywhere. See, all of us, we watched our mothers. We watched our mothers stay in relationships that did nothing for them, that did not benefit them. We watched our mothers not treated the way we know our mothers should have been treated. And so for me, I can say, I will never settle for that. I will never do that. So you have a whole generation of women like me who witnessed where that gets you and witnessed that their mothers are happier now that they're no longer with their husbands. You see what I'm saying? So now we know, okay, that's not going to get me anywhere. So why even start with somebody like that?
Yeah.
And that's where we are today. And I think, especially in relationships, you can see from the stories how violent relationships have become out here. What a risk it is to a woman to start a relationship with a man today. You are literally playing with your life. As opposed to having butterflies in your stomach and like, oh my God, I can't wait to see him. Now you like, oh my God, let me tell everybody where I'm going to be at tonight just in case this man is out of his freaking mind.
But you ain't lying.
They're too violent, like I said. It's too much, and I understand these poor women, and I hope to God it gets better, that maybe this will remind them, maybe we ought to take a look at ourselves and get ourselves together so that our children and our children's children will have better lives.
Well, actually, what is actually happening in response to this movement is men going out and tweeting and posting about how they, if you deny us, remember that we have all the guns.
Oh, see that.
Like, literally, this is something that was posted.
Okay.
And so, well, wait a minute, because the woman's response to that, a woman came out in response to that tweet and said, well, you know that doesn't really matter. We already fear y'all. That's why we don't want to mess with y'all in the first place, because we know how violent you are overall. Like, and then this response to us saying we're not settling for the madness is you saying, remember, we've got the guns.
Wow. So it solidifies
right.
the very thing that we're standing.
And like I said,
insane.
and I think I said this last week, men, the ones that are good, y'all out there that are always so quick to say, I'm not like that. This is your problem. You need to step up, call these fake men out, and get them straight. Y'all need to put them together because we don't have to. And the thing is, I don't want anybody thinking that being single is like some downfall in life or something. No. These women are actually happy. When they're online and they're saying, I'm single because I want to be, because they're talking about their hobbies, all the trips that they're taking, things that they're doing with their friends and their families. These are happy women. And I think these men resent that women can be happy without them. And you shouldn't resent it. You should just want to be a part of it.
Yeah. I will say, too, for the men who are healthy-minded, right? I think that a lot of them feel outnumbered because just as a man growing up as a boy, being raised by a man who, having men in my life who were not the most emotionally healthy, it is feminine to talk about emotions.
Feelings.
Right.
Wow.
And so
Yeah.
a lot of us grow up with that narrative. Now, it is important for us as we grow to say, hey, let's do this work. Maybe that's not the way that I should be going. Maybe that's not right. But a lot of us don't have that insight. And we get it much, much later. But we don't have it when it's really important to have it.
Ooh,
so,
Lord.
not to make an excuse for men, please don't think I am, for men who don't act in the way that they should or are not emotionally healthy. But just giving you all some insight, which I'm sure you probably already know because we've probably already spoken about this before. But this is how deep this goes societally.
Goodness.
Yeah, it's sad, but it's sad on one end, but on the other end, it gives me actually a lot of hope, because I would rather be in the company of other women that understand their worth, that understand their value like I do. I feel way more comfortable with that being the reality, as opposed to women bowing down to this horrible treatment and settling for these crazy men and living miserable lives
That's
because of
sick.
it. I would rather us be happy and joyful alone than miserable with a dude just so you can put a ring on it.
I mean, to say we got all the guns.
Yeah, that was a quote.
Now,
in
was
the
that-
world?
Yeah, this dude literally online,
got
it
all
was
the
on
guns.
TikTok, and this woman responded to it like a stitch. She did a
Yeah.
response to
Good
that and was
God.
like, dude, this is, we already fear y'all. We walk out the house, fear. Our
Right.
fear comes
Fear.
from men.
Right.
It sure does.
It's dark out. I live in Chicago. I'm not going out there by myself.
Because of men.
Because a man could come around the corner and take me out of here.
There you go.
It's not because I think, oh man, Tracy might be out there. She might get me.
No, that's not.
I know I'm not scared of I ain't scared
I
of
love
Tracy.
you, Tracy, but I'm not scared of you.
Right,
Okay?
right.
Poe.
But Daquan, I might be scared of you.
Yeah.
Turning this
Yeah.
corner.
Bob,
Right.
Mikey,
Right.
Sam, all y'all.
All of 'em.
Chasey.
Shoot. So I mean, it's rough out here,
Yeah,
y'all.
baby.
I'm so sorry, y'all.
That is deep.
But yeah, it's. I'm cool with it. I'm definitely cool with it. I think it might just be the thing to wake up. Not all of them, but some of them
Yeah.
will wake up and be like, okay,
Yeah.
they not gonna play our game no more.
Let's do better.
Yeah,
Right. That's
Yeah.
what I'm hopeful
Yeah.
for.
And that's
That-
all you can. That's all you can do. And then
Yeah,
also
I'm
maybe
hopeful.
good dudes will come up and speak up more often, and it won't feel like we're all alone
Yeah.
in our thinking of, because people always like, well, you're too picky or whatever. I just want somebody that's sane,
Good. That's good.
somebody that's respectful, and that's like my best friend. I don't think
that's good.
that's
That's the
somebody I can
basics.
laugh with and live with and
It's not
build a
asking
family
too
with,
much.
just like somebody cool to hang out with.
It's the basics, baby.
What is picky about that? I have no idea.
Because
that's-
people settle. for
Well,
less
Yeah,
crazy.
than
that's
the
what I'm saying. And
basics.
so this other girl, I know we going on, but this other girl mentioned that she's like, these dudes like have a problem with women.
They
They
crazy.
hate women.
Well.
and they're out here dating for sex, but they don't actually like us at all.
Oh my God.
And so that is what makes it so dangerous. And she's so right.
Yeah,
Because you
that's it.
feel it off of them. Like they resent you. They have this deep hate for you. They don't think you're funny. They don't think you're interesting. All of that. They'd rather be hanging with their boys, but they want you for a
Well.
physical connection.
That's insanity.
Oh.
And
God.
that is really what I'm talking about when I say they need to go do the work, because there is so much wrong with them for thinking that way and
That's
for seeing women
insane.
that way.
Yeah. Well.
So we're going to move
Ooh-wee.
on to the next question, y'all. That was a rough one.
That's it.
Lamar, what you got for us?
All right. So our next question is, I want a divorce, but I'm staying for the kids. Do you think that's the right decision?
I do not. kids are resilient, and I think it's worse to raise kids in a household where there's tension and you don't want to be in that household. I think the kids suffer for that. I think your mind tells you that, it's better to do it for the kids, but after the kids grow and they're in this volatile, toxic environment, that cannot be good for the kids. It's like feeding your kids badly and expecting them to grow properly and be healthy. It's the same. It's messing with their psyche and their spirituality even to live under that. So I would say if you're not happy, the kids aren't going to be happy at home. Nobody's going to be. So and kids can see. You do know they're not blind. They see exactly what's going on. They rationalize, they understand, and you cannot fool your child. You think you are because they're small, but you really cannot. They know you. They know your situation. And if you're not happy, they're not. So it's not good to raise kids under the umbrella of I want a divorce, because you're saying you're not in love with this person, you don't want to be there, but I'm just doing this for my kids. So I would say do your kids a favor and live healthily.
All
All right. Lamar, what you?
So I would say, one thing that I heard is staying for the kids. And I feel like to that person, family is very important. I feel that nowadays, any one little upset or any little one thing that somebody might do, it's like we're willing to throw in a towel and give up and I'm done. I want a divorce. So I would really say if the marriage is worth working on and trying to salvage, and if keeping your family together is important to you, like you said it is, I think you should try to give it a try to stick it out and work through it and try to heal whatever's broken to keep your family unit together.
So when I heard the question, staying for the kids, it meant something different to me. For me, it feels like the person is saying they don't want to leave their kids. So in a divorce, somebody stays and somebody goes. And if this is a man, he's probably going.
Get that.
And staying for the kids could just mean I want to be with my kids every day. I don't want to see them on the weekends or every other weekend or every other week or in the summers or, whatever the situation becomes. And that is a tough pill to swallow because you're saying you want a divorce. So I feel like, okay, you want that because it's over. But you want to be with your kids as much as possible. And I agree with Mama, though, that in the long run, that's only going to hurt your children because for me, witnessing an unhappy marriage is extremely difficult for a child. Even though it hurts when your parents separate because you don't understand. Usually, if you're really young, you don't really understand. You still I immediately felt the difference of them not being together. And I felt better. I felt guilty for feeling better that they were not together because separately, my mother was happier.
Right. I was going to say.
And I lived with her, and I literally saw that she smiled more, she laughed more, we had a good time all together and family functions. Everything was better. I felt guilty about how much it was better, but it was. And I only felt guilty because, I didn't understand that this is the way it needed to be. And so I think that as a parent, you got to do, it's going to hurt not being in the house with your kids every day if that's your situation.
Yes, of course.
But that's the sacrifice you need to make for your kids, because it's still going to be better for them if y'all aren't together making each other miserable. Because the kids feel that every day. That house, that apartment, wherever y'all at, it's a negative place. And it doesn't matter how much you pretend. Parents think they can pretend.
Cannot.
Nope.
You can't. Your kids know you just as well as you
Oh,
know
baby.
them.
Yes.
Now you can say that
Yes.
again.
It's
Because
an equal playing field.
Yeah.
I know my
This
mother,
is true.
and she knows me.
Yes.
And nobody on earth knows us better than each other.
That's right. And that's what parents don't really get. They know their kids.
Right.
I know you. I carried you in my womb.
Right.
But what they don't realize is that is an equal playing field.
Yeah.
They also know you, dear.
I
And-
know
and a
her
lot
better
of 'em-
than I know anybody in the world,
Yeah.
because I've spent the most time with her.
I know her
That's-
better in
that's-
some instances better than I know myself.
There you go.
Right.
I used to be able to, I knew my parents so well. I don't even know if they even knew this, but I could tell each of them, she gonna do this. Or I could tell my mom, well, if you do that, Daddy's gonna do this.
Yeah.
And sure enough,
Exactly.
Daddy did.
Get
That's
it
right.
Yeah.
Because
That's
I
right.
know both of them. And that is what parents miss in parenting.
Yeah.
They think they're getting away, they're fooling the kids, but no, you're not. They know you.
Not to mention the fact you always slip up.
That's right.
There's always those moments where y'all had that argument right at the dinner table, or right in the kitchen, or in the bathroom, or whatever, and y'all going, and then you catch yourself and you bring yourselves back and you go to your own corners or whatever. But that house, that place is a negative place, and there's nothing you can do about it except part.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a tough pill to swallow, and
It
I
is.
don't wish it upon anybody.
Me neither.
But when it comes to that, you as the parent has to take that hit. You got to take that hit.
Yeah.
You're not going to be with them every day, but you're still going to be with them as much as humanly possible.
Right.
And you make that work, because they are going to be better off seeing the both of you happier
And healthy.
and healthy.
Absolutely.
And living your best life.
Amen.
So,
That's real talk.
yeah.
My mama told me that one. And
And it trickled down from generation to generation.
generation.
Right. And
That's
she
right.
told me children are resilient. And in our minds, we think, oh, I don't want to hurt my kid. Oh, I don't want. But she said they are resilient, and they are. All
Yeah.
right now.
No
Amen.
doubt. All right, let's move on. We're cooking with grease.
Yes.
I always say that wrong. I don't know why. I always say it
like
came
it.
out right today.
Yes, yes.
All right. Next question is, I'm $100,000 in debt. I can't sleep. What should I do?
My God.
Ooh, Lord.
Ooh, Jesus.
You need to pray. My God. Oh, okay, baby.
Bankruptcy.
I am so sorry about being in $100,000 and you
Woo.
can't
Rough.
sleep. Ooh wee.
That's
I'm gonna
rough.
tell you what to do, baby. You may as well file for bankruptcy. You need to file for bankruptcy, baby. Get that debt off of you.
And what is that process?
And you got to call an attorney. They can have bankruptcy attorneys. Call somebody, and they've got, information you can find on the internet or whatever. But $100,000 in debt and you can't sleep means you don't see no way out. So call an attorney, get a bankruptcy attorney, and you file for that and lay down somewhere. Because you're going to be
Well,
all
what
right
happens
after
to
that.
I don't understand the bankruptcy. What happens with the debt? It just
They'll
goes away?
liquidate the debt. It won't go away, but it depends on what kind of debt this is.
Okay.
You know,
Credit card debt?
they will take that and you'll have to pay something.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be just okay. They took all my. They'll set up something that will help you. That will be feasible for you to pay.
Payment plan.
Yeah.
Put you on something, and you should be okay. But you do that, and then you can lay down, baby. Go to them, get this plan in action, and a tip is, if this is credit card debt or something, don't get no more credit cards. You once you get out of this, discipline yourself and don't ever do this again.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like,
Yeah, don't do this no more. Baby.
Even after the bankruptcy, you need to take a real hard look at your choices.
Yeah, cause
that led you here, because
100,000.
You know,
once you
They
in
went
like
too
$10,000 debt, I would have been like, man, I really need to get myself together. This person, you
They went
kept
too
going.
far.
You kept going. And who was giving you all this credit?
What I want to
they don't
know.
give it to
These
you.
people out here are
Yeah,
some
'Cause they
shysters.
making money off of that
Ooh.
debt.
First of
we-
all, like if you've got good credit or you're a college student, they'll be sending you
If you
credit
in
like
college,
it
they'll
ain't
give
nothing.
you.
yeah.
They'll give you
Oh, yeah.
anything
And
you
so
want.
it's
yeah.
easy
Oh, yeah.
to rack them up.
Wow.
So they went in too far.
$100,000.
Bless
They went
they
to
heart.
Vegas or something. Something there. They had a credit line or
Baby,
something.
Vegas.
I mean.
Casinos.
Atlantic City.
Atlantic City.
They was everywhere, baby.
everywhere you could think
But
of.
You gotta really look at yourself.
Yeah.
You sure
And
do.
you gotta make some. And somebody that can build this kind of credit up,
Jesus Christ.
that means that you are not good with money. So
Right.
you really need to get somebody that can help you
Yeah,
stay
don't-
with a budget. Like,
don't do
even
this.
if you, like, if I was in your shoes and I went through the bankruptcy, I would like give my check to my mama for a while. I'm serious. I would. I'd be like, Mama, I need you to hold this check,
Right.
and then I'm gonna come to you for my bills and
Pay your
like,
little bill.
you know, just until I get it together. Because
Right.
obviously, if I have it, it's gone.
And
So-
then they can build it.
You gotta-
They can build their credit back up after the bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Now you might have to get a little small line of credit somewhere, but pay it on time and don't get a lot. And then you can build your little credit back up.
Yeah.
But I would advise you, see, if this is credit card debt, you don't get no more credit cards.
And you need to talk to somebody. I think you need a bit of therapy,
Therapy.
actually,
Yeah.
because this ain't no joke. A lot of people,
Baby said, I
you
can't
know how
sleep.
people eat, like they emotionally eat?
Yes.
Yeah.
People emotionally spend.
Yeah. I agree
Like they
with
be
that.
depressed and they just be online
I'm
ordering
going to
stuff.
get
And,
me-
you know, so you need to check in with somebody too. I would say you need to sit down with a therapist
Yeah.
and talk this out. What led you to do all this? Because you kept going.
You
Yeah.
kept. And then after you get done with your therapy, no, as a matter of fact, continue the therapy for the rest of your life.
Bless
Yeah,
$100,000
you
in
need
heart.
debt.
You need to.
Then you need to go to somebody, anybody, a financial
Planner.
somebody
Planner.
that
Get you a
will
little
teach
planner.
you how to budget. Because what it
Yeah,
sounds like is that you was living off these credit cards. It wasn't that you was suspending.
Yeah.
Your whole lifestyle
Yeah.
were the credit cards.
But you can get out of this. You go ahead and do the bankruptcy.
Thank God for bankruptcy.
Yeah. And you know, hey, it happens. You made a mistake. You made some
Maybe it was
mistakes.
one big mistake. It could have been just like a big business mistake. Sometimes people go into business for themselves,
Yeah.
and that's when you get those big
Could
credit
be.
lines because you're building your business and stuff, and maybe the business went down. You know, if it was a restaurant or something like that. But either way,
This baby
wow,
can't
you
sleep.
thank God for bankruptcy.
Thank
You
God
need to
for
go
bankruptcy.
do that.
Yeah, you do that,
Immediately.
baby.
And start over.
Yes.
You can start over. People
Yes, you
always be
can.
trying to
Right.
tell
Amen.
people
Start
that
over.
yeah, you made a bad turn.
Right.
You took a wrong turn.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you can start over.
Yes,
Don't
yes,
ever
yes.
let anybody tell you can't clean this up.
That's right.
You can clean it up.
It's gonna take its
But you
time.
need to
Bless their
have
hearts.
where there's a will, there's
There's
a
a
way.
way.
Yeah. It's a wheel, all right.
Woo.
Jesus. Woo.
My,
No.
my.
All right. Well, those are the questions for this week for Ask Mama. If you want to ask Mama a question next week, we have episodes every Wednesday. Please be sure to follow us on Instagram or TikTok, and you can DM us your question for next week's show.
And hit that like button, y'all.
And subscribe and do all of the things.
Yeah.
And if you're listening on Spotify, give us them 5 stars.
Right.
But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next segment, which is also a question. So
Okay.
the questions kind of continue, but we're gonna move on to the what's going on segment. What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on?
All right.
All right now.
And this week the question is this. This is basically my question.
Okay.
Because I was so upset by this story. So, Baltimore
My Lord.
had a tragic bridge collapse. And I don't know what you want to call them at this point. I'm going to just say a group of racists on the right called the mayor, who is a black man. His name is Brandon Scott.
Yeah.
They called him the DEI mayor.
Isn't that something?
And basically said it's because Baltimore has a DEI mayor that this bridge collapse occurred. Because, obviously, if somebody that should have been in the job was in the job, then this wouldn't have happened. This tragic accident collapse, right? First of all, the mayor of Baltimore was duly elected. And for those of you who don't understand what that means that the people of Baltimore, black, white, and whatever, voted, and he got majority of the votes and became mayor in a city that is 61% black.
Bingo.
And so the DEI thing, as we all know, is the new slur that is used instead of the N-word
Yes.
on today's media and social media.
Isn't that?
So I want to know how you feel about this story, Mom.
Well, first of all, ironically, you saying duly elected. I think that baby, well, I'm not going to put it on him. But I would like to say to the people who said this to this young man, this Brandon Scott, the mayor, he was duly elected, idiot. That's my
That's it.
DEI.
That's it.
That's what DEI stands
That's
for
what it-
to me.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think it is a terrible thing for this man, for these people, people in Congress, telling this man, this happened because of that. This happened because it was an accident, and the driver of that ship, they say he really did avoid it being even worse than it was. But people died in this accident, and they got the right one, because this man is not backing down. This mayor says that basically he is for equality, and that they are scared of what he stands for, and that he was born for this. So they have really elected a great mayor, and I think he got like close to 70% of the vote.
The issue is that DEI there is no evidence whatsoever that in any instance in professional anything
That's right.
that DEI had a hand in someone's death or loss of funds or anything. There aren't any black lawyers or doctors or mayors or presidents that did not earn their position. When you are duly elected for something, it's literally the definition of earning the votes of the people.
That's right.
So to say that black people don't earn it. To get your mind and your mouth to say something like that when black people earned it before we could even earn, before we were paid.
Had no
we
choice.
earned our lives here in America. We built this country. And now you want to use DEI as some kind of slur to say that we don't earn our place in life.
But
It is absolutely the cowardice of white supremacy.
yes, I'm with
It is the epitome of what it means to be a white supremacist, because it's full of you're such a coward. You're so scared of having to go up against a black person for a job or for a place in this world. So you have to say, this is unfair. This
Right.
is unfair. You are and will forever be pathetic.
that is.
And because you know it, that is why you hate.
That's it.
Summed it up.
It's the new N word.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Duly elected, idiot.
Brandon Scott, keep doing your thing.
Yeah.
You are awesome. I love seeing your black family
Yeah.
thrive and prosper.
The governor of Maryland is
my.
also black.
Yes, he is.
So there you go. And the reason why
he
they're
is.
where they are is because they know who they are. They know their history and they see their future. And that is what all professional black people are aware of in this
Yes.
country.
Yes,
we
they are.
don't walk out our house without knowing everything about whatever we are out here doing, because we know there are no shortcuts. We
right.
know everybody's watching every little thing that we do, every second that we do it. And you better know that Brandon Scott is ready. He knows what's what. And you're not going to find nothing but hard work behind
That's
this
right.
man.
Yeah.
And that makes him mad too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Bless his heart.
But it's a tragedy.
It
And
is.
see how they pull the focus away from just a legitimate tragedy.
It
All
was.
we should be thinking of, this should not be a story. You know how sick you have to be for this to be the story?
Right.
People have died.
They
Yeah.
died.
All we should be doing, I should know the names of the people who have passed so I can pray for them.
Yes.
Right.
I should have seen their faces by now.
Their
But
family.
instead, these politicians on the right and these crazy MAGA people is
Right.
out here talking nothing but nonsense.
Right.
Yet another distraction.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
so pathetic. There's no other word for these people anymore. They are pathetic.
It is. It's sad. Again, getting back to that girl's question, who's doing all this? Is it men or is it women out
Oh,
here?
it's white men. There's no doubt about that.
Straight
They are
white
leading
men.
the charge of hate in this country.
They certainly are.
And it's not me saying it, it's the FBI.
That's real talk.
The FBI says that the biggest threat to our democracy in this country
That's what
is
it's-
white supremacy.
It's written.
Males 18 to 45.
It's
Wow.
written. That's facts.
Your FBI, not my FBI. I ain't got no FBI. Okay? That's y'all's troop. Hoover and them.
Yeah.
Okay? Telling y'all that. And guess who they used to say that about back in the 60s?
Yeah, they
Uh-oh.
did.
Martin Luther King. Malcolm X.
The Black Panther.
The Black Panthers.
That's right.
We can go on.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey y'all, we know how to fight. We know what war and battles look like. This is all we know. Y'all need to get yourselves together. This is
Y'all
not a
do.
battle you can win,
This
because
is
we
terrible.
will never stop.
No.
We will never stop pushing forward. We will never stop protecting our own.
Right. That's right.
There you go.
Okay. Now we're going to get to 5 minutes of trash. And when I mean 5
Lord.
minutes, I only got 5 minutes for this piece of trash. And that is P. Diddy. He recently got raided by the FBI. I loathe these type of men, especially in the entertainment industry. And he's been slimed for a long time. He's been doing dirt for decades. You know, a whole full decade before I was even born, this man was doing dirt in this industry.
It's sick.
And so what do y'all think is going to happen after this raid? Do you think he's going to go to jail and end up like R. Kelly, or do you think he's going to end up, you know, shipping out of here, you know, getting out and being on the run?
I think it's not only going to be him. I think his raid is going to lead to a lot of other people because, you know, you just can't obtain that type of wealth and dirt at the same time without having powerful people in powerful places involved, to me. So I'm looking to see who else was in on this despicable enterprise or whatever. And I'm pretty sure they're probably going to try to RICO him like they did that other man. And it's just sad that the victims, you know, that's where my heart goes, to the victims of this type of invasion and crime, and the children that are involved, you know, his kids. And I feel sorry for those people, the victims and the children. But I think this is only the tip of the iceberg here.
Yeah.
I think that other shoe's gonna drop, and Diddy does not strike me as a person who's gonna take it lying down by himself. I think he is going to sing like a canary. So everybody that was involved better know that it's coming.
Yeah.
I just, on one hand, how could the people around you allow all of these things to happen? I know we ask this question all the time. Why is there nothing sacred? Why do people cherish money? Because that's really what it's all about.
That's what it is.
Over everything else.
Money.
I just don't understand that. But on the other hand, I'm like, I think we're coming and approaching a dawn where people are being held accountable finally. Because this has been the culture, apparently, and I didn't know it was so heinous.
It is heinous. That's a good word for it.
I had no idea. But this has been the culture for decades.
It is.
And so that's why we're seeing all of these things come out now.
Yeah.
Well,
because in that world, it seemed like it was the norm.
The entertainment industry is different from any other, and I try to tell people this all the time. Greed is everywhere. Greed is in everything, in every category of professional life. But it's not just greed. It's not just money. It's fame. And when you combine greed and fame together, then all of a sudden you have a lot of people turning their heads, turning a blind eye, because they not only want the money, but they also want fame. And the tide that's turning now, as you can see, even from like the Jennifer Lopez backlash, is that our generation and the generation, the Gen Zs, we are now not looking at celebrity the same. Right. We're not valuing celebrity like past generations have. And as we move forward with that mentality, which I think is phenomenal, I think it's the best thing that could ever happen if we got rid of that disease of fame and fortune, right? Because so many people are just clawing at the bit for it, thinking it's the end all, the be all, thinking that happiness is there. When really, Will Smith actually just did a interview recently and said, I got everything. I could buy everything. I could do anything. And he still ain't happy.
What he said.
And so maybe as we push forward
said.
with this mentality of no longer putting these celebrities on a pedestal and seeing them for what they are, they're just artists. They do a job that we like, and that's it. But we don't have to fawn over them. We don't have to cry over them. We don't have to run after them. And we don't have to disregard their heinous acts against us, their fans, or just want to, or people that want to be in the industry too. As a prerequisite to get into the industry, you got to let these dudes manhandle you and do all kind of stuff to you and all this. We do not have to live in that. And I think we're discovering that as
Thank
we
God.
shut down all of these old gatekeepers,
Yes,
because
do it.
that's
Good.
what it is. All of these dudes used to be the gatekeepers
Yes.
of the whole industry. Russell Simmons, P. Diddy, R. Kelly. These people were in your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they're not.
And I'm gonna throw the Bible in here because it is money, but the Bible specifically says the love of money is the root of all evil.
My.
So of course, and then there's another scripture that says money answereth all things. So you can have money, but to love it is what makes you do anything for it. And that is where sin comes in. And you just obviously go nuts.
And like I said, and then you have to add fame, because that
Yeah.
has nothing to do with money. You could be famous and not have a lot of money. And people want to be famous more than they want to be rich.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Like, so it's this whole mentality. Like, you got a whole bunch of TikTokers and stuff trying to get, they be famous for 15 minutes because they stuff went viral and they lose their minds.
Yeah.
My
You know what I'm
God.
saying? So it's still there. I'm not saying we're getting rid of it, but at least we're pushing some of it out. It's coming
That's
down.
good.
It's not building up.
Right.
And that is better for the future.
I
And
think
that's
so.
why these dudes like Diddy are going down for the count.
I think that's good for the world to put them out there like that, because maybe it will discourage
Yes.
people from doing this in the future.
That's
like,
right.
I mean, because this is a hard fall, baby. This Humpty Dumpty here.
Oh, yes, it is.
I mean, this is a hard fall.
And so now, like I'm saying, the new gatekeepers, whoever they are now, they'll second guess treating
maybe.
people
Hold on.
like them.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
they're not going to want to end up like them.
them.
And that's
Absolutely.
why we have to make sure these people pay for their crimes.
Agreed.
But he might dip. I still think he might dip.
He got the
They
capability.
better keep an eye on
They
him,
better.
because
He can dip all
he got
right,
enough
boy.
money to dip.
Yes, he does.
Okay, y'all. That's it for the questions this week. We're going to move on to the Black-owned Spotlight. This is where we spotlight Black-owned businesses. And I'm going to start us off. Let me bring up the address here. Okay, it's called Bronzeville Soul. And it's a restaurant, they it's soul food, basically. You know, you want some catfish, you want some greens, you want some potato salad, you want some fried chicken, go head on to Bronzeville Soul and they'll hook you up. They got some macaroni and cheese and they got all the stuff. Now don't be going there all the time, but you know just check them out.
Every now and
then check them on out. They're at 4655 South Martin Luther King Drive in Bronzeville, and it's called Bronzeville Soul.
All right. All right. Bronzeville. My place is called Soul Prime Restaurant. It's located 1969 North Halsted. And they too have good catfish
Okay.
and soul food and sweet potato candy yams. So check them out. But again, in moderation. We don't want people's cholesterol. And
but
high
check them
blood
out.
pressure and
Check
all
them
this
out.
other
Check
stuff.
them out.
But every now and then, you go get you some Soul Prime.
My. All right. So mine is Ricketts Barbecue.
Oh.
It's at 1514 West Taylor Street.
Oh, my.
Okay.
Chicago, Illinois, 60607. And they are serving up your barbecue, your rib tips, your fried chicken with the mild
Okay,
sauce.
we are really not being healthy. Next week we're gonna give y'all some healthy options.
Yeah. Do they have turkey tips?
They probably do got turkey tips.
I would love some turkey
I don't even
tips.
look at the turkey tips. I go
Yeah.
straight. I think
See,
that's
I
terrible.
can't
See,
pork,
yeah, I
but
don't
I
eat the
would-
pork. Yeah.
I chew up a turkey tip, though.
Oh, I love a turkey tip.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all's
Praise the
back's
Lord.
gonna be big. Y'all
We
need to
gonna
do
we
this
gonna
in
we gonna do
moderation.
some healthy stuff next week.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, this was real.
All right. So that's the end of that. Let's move on to the recommendations. Let's do TV or film. Lamar, what you got?
So my television show is on Netflix. It is called The Glory, and it is a Korean thriller drama. It's so good. If you have not seen Korean shows, please check it out.
Wow.
And
Okay.
and it's dubbed in English, by the way, and it's on Netflix.
All right.
All right.
Netflix. I too have a Netflix movie. It's called American Murder: The Family Next Door. And when I tell you this man, Christopher Watts, who annihilated his entire family,
I think I've seen
y'all
that.
need to look at this. Oh my
I
God.
think I saw that one.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
so
it was
bad.
sad.
Oh, but I mean, you need to know, and it was a man who did this, just saying.
Yeah. Yikes.
Y'all need to stop all this.
Woo.
Men, come on now,
They just got to do the work.
let's love
you
on
know,
each other.
Because
Take
if you
care
think
of
if
us.
you think that nothing is wrong with you, then you're not gonna get yourself
They're
right.
supposed to take
Nope.
care of
So.
us.
Well, I would
Ooh.
not. Anyway,
I'm sorry.
mine is also a Netflix show. It's a comedy,
Oh, praise
and it's
God.
called.
Sorry. I mean, between all
Oh,
this
my
fat
God.
food and
Okay, it's called Fisk, and it's a comedy out of Australia, and it's this lady. Her last name is Fisk, and she's like a lawyer, but she's a lawyer that like helps you like get your will together, and she helps people like when kids are left a will and they got to divide everything because their parents is passed on. And when I tell you, it is hilarious.
wow.
I was so, because usually I'm like, I don't Australia. What is this? And it kind of reminds you of like The Office.
Oh.
It's so funny. And this lady, she be in these situations. It's like a cross
Nice.
between The Office and like Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's like
Oh,
that kind of laughter.
I'm
Like
gonna have to check
this fool is in these situations, and you like, lady, why can't you just?
that. Bless her heart.
Why can't your day just go right? And it's funny. And it's got 2 seasons, and I watched all of them nearly back to back. They're like 30 minutes long, so it's not
okay.
and it's just really funny. And if you're looking for something to just laugh to and sit back, Fisk.
Fist.
Fisk.
And where's this?
All right.
Netflix.
Netflix.
Check it out.
Wow.
Okay, let's do music. Let's start with you, Mama. We know it's old school. but-
Okay, it is.
Okay.
And it is none other than Baby Fingers herself, Patrice Rushen.
Oh.
You remind me. Ooh,
I'm looking for it.
ooh,
In love with you, darling.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I love me some Patrice. Ooh, she
Yeah.
was so funky. And
Uh.
her little fingers. Ooh, she played that Rhodes, baby.
All right.
Yes, sir.
My song is Peebo Bryson, so it is old school.
It's old.
Reaching for the Sky. I love, which was recorded in Chicago, by the way.
Oh, wow. Ooh, I love people.
Me too.
Go on, people,
All
Bryson.
right. You know what? I was gonna do something new, but I'm gonna do an old school tune
That's
as
the
well.
best.
Do y'all remember when Eric Benet and Faith did Georgie Porgy,
Yes.
the duet?
Yes.
Oh, you love.
I mean, their voices on that track,
Butter.
the ad libs when they went back and forth.
Yes.
Let me tell you, something, it's one of the best duets I've ever heard. I jam that in my car all the
Kiss
time.
the girls and make them cry.
Nigga
Georgia,
cry.
Georgia, yeah.
Kiss
the girls and make them
and Faith is getting down.
Yes, she is.
Woo.
Oh,
Kiss the girl. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Oh, the jam.
it's
That's
a
a
jam.
jam.
I could be a DJ. I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
You
y'all.
could.
I'm
But you
telling
know
you,
what?
y'all.
From that
Right
era,
Uh-huh.
Faith Evans with them duets
Faith
was
Evans
whoa.
was
honey.
she
Duets
was
by
her
herself,
songs.
she was getting it.
At
You
that
don't
moment.
Oh, yeah.
hear me
She
when
really
I say
was.
she was
yeah.
getting
She
it.
really was.
Yes, sir.
So that's music. Oh, let's do books.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
What
the
you got,
books.
Mama?
I've got a book by called The Power of Now. It's by Eckhart Tolle, and it's such a good book. It helps you get centered and teaches you how to be in the now, not so much in your head thinking in the future and the past, but right here where God is. It's a beautiful
right.
thing.
Okay.
Good book.
Man.
Eckhart Tolle.
All right, Lamar, what you got?
My book is The Circle by Dave Eggers. It's a dystopian book about a woman who joins a tech firm, but it quickly turns a little dark and sinister.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
What?
It's a good book. Check it out.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My book is by Eddie Glaude Jr. And he
Glaude.
talks on TV a lot on like
Yeah.
CNN, MSNBC.
Oh, I love Eddie.
And I didn't know he's a professor, and I didn't know he wrote books. So then they had mentioned one of his books on when he was on MSNBC one day, and I looked into it and was like, oh, he has books. Okay,
What's the name of it?
And so, well, he has a couple of books, but the one that I was reading is called Democracy in Black.
Oh.
And it's just a really great book. It gives you a real good look at like democracy and the law from a black person's perspective, and you know how it affects us and how we have to maneuver within this democracy, you know, and how in all of these instances we don't really get the benefits of democracy like everybody else, and it's just very it's just got a lot of jewels in there. He's really smart.
He is.
And I love to hear him talk. So when I was reading the book, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is."
I think he's a professor at Princeton.
Yeah, I think so too. And he's got a couple books out there. So I'm just getting into it. But this is the first one that I'm reading,
Okay.
and it's a really great book. So check it out.
That's great.
Hey.
All right, y'all. Well, those are our recommendations for the week. And this was our episode. If you enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up. It really does help the videos.
It does.
Helps the page, the channel grow. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be updated on our episodes, which are every Wednesday. And if you want to ask Mama a question, like I said previously, follow us on Instagram or TikTok or both at Ask Mama Podcast, and you can DM us your questions.
Yes.
And you can also just leave a comment for this video. If you enjoyed it, let us know. If you want us to talk about something next week and you're not on Instagram or TikTok, put it at the bottom of this video. And if you're listening on Spotify, just reach out to us on social media. But we'll be back next Wednesday for another episode. So you guys be safe out there and be encouraged.
Amen.
And we'll see you then. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.